the first place that I always have people start for Pincha Mayurasana is simply a forearm plank. So you want your forearms parallel here. And it is really important that they're parallel because I know there's a tendency for people to bring their hands together. Try not to do that. Try to keep them parallel and just come into a forearm plank where your butt is low for the first one. And the shoulders are about over the elbows or close to it, and you're looking at your fingertips. So you can feel everything really activate here, like core, back, legs, shoulders, arms, triceps, all of it. Glutes, I mean, all of it's working. And then walk your toes towards your elbows. They're not going to come super close, and that's fine. But you start to, when you walk your toes towards the elbows, you start to shift your weight more forward into the arms. And then from here we'll do, we call this dolphin in Pilates. You're going to just shift your weight forward so your face comes forward over your fingertips and then back. You can bend the knees if you need to. Forward and back. And we're going to do 2 more. Forward and back, and 1 more. Forward and back. And then we'll rest for a second. So when I'm teaching somebody Pincha Mayurasana for the first time, that would be the first thing that I have them start doing, which, you know, if you've been practicing Mysore up until the point that you're getting to Pincha Mayurasana, most people can do that, no problem. But if you don't have enough strength for that, then we're definitely not taking the feet off the floor. You know, like you got to be able to do that first. So that's kind of step 1. And then the next thing that we do to start to build up the strength for it is that same forearm dolphin pose. So like basically down dog on your forearms, walk it in, come to your tippy toes, activate the abs and pull up even a little bit more. So I'm really thinking of lifting from here. And then I just take one leg up and I hold. And I'm really trying to pull up with my right leg. And you know, now it's more weight in my upper body. I actually think this might be harder than the full pose. So you want 5 breaths here, and then switch for 5 breaths. And then lower down. So there's a couple other ways that I like to have people experiment with it. One is using a block and a strap. So if you have a block and a strap handy, you can use them. If you don't have both, use one or the other. It doesn't matter. You don't have to do it all. So if you're using the strap, you're going to put it around your biceps so that the arms are about shoulder distance. And that kind of locks it in. And if you're using the block, you hold the block between your index finger and your thumb, and it gives you something to push into, which is, it's helpful because it, you know, helps you find some resistance in the pose. So what the block and the strap do is it prevents you from doing this, which is really, really common when people are playing with Pincha Mayurasana, as the hands come together and the elbows splay out. And when that happens, you don't get to the work of the upper back, like, you know, that talking about the external rotation of the shoulders that we talk about all the time. So that's why this setup can be super helpful. So if you want to try it again now, you can use the block and the strap, or not. You don't have to. These are all options, and you might not need it. And then we just kind of do what you just played with, is walking in, walking in, walking in, taking one foot up, and then lifting into Pincha Mayurasana. And once you're up, if you get up, push down into your foundation, pull up through the toes. And just hold it there for as long as you can. And if you don't want to do it, any of the previous options are fine. Looking good, Barbara. Oh, good, Jocelyn. Good setup, good setup. Okay, so Karen, I think with that one, it was too much of a kick with the bottom leg and not enough of a pull with the top leg, right? So when you're doing it, if the top leg starts to really pull you up, it can just really, it really helps with the pose. Like it helps with control. You're not using as much momentum. So it's more like you step into it instead of kicking into it. Go ahead and try it one more time. So pull up with the right leg and try to kind of step off the left foot. Karen, can you come in another inch? Like walk in one more inch with the left leg? Okay, let's see this. That's a good position. Almost. I mean, it's hard, it's tricky, but those were good tries. Okay, so let me just show you another way you can attempt it. You don't have to try this today, but you can if you want to. But the other way would be to start with your foot up. So like a cork block can be helpful for that because it doesn't move. I haven't done this for a while, and my practice is not recovering well from my knee surgery, so I'm not even positive I can do it, but I will give it a shot. We'll see. So you would just kind of start from like here, and it gets your butt up a little bit higher. You obviously have to be careful because this isn't super sturdy, and then then just try to like a little step up. But did you see how with that extra 3 inches from the block, I mean, I'm just like pushing off my toe. It's barely a kick. Be careful with that foam block though, because those are not super sturdy. So that might be something you guys want to play with. Like it takes a little minute to set up well for it. But yeah, see, like you might need to use like your foam pads against the wall or something, Karen. But okay, good setup. Just try it from there. You're set. Even just holding that setup, I don't know if you guys can see her, but like that, her hips are basically directly over her shoulders right now. So even just holding that setup is, there on the block, you could just hold out for 5 breaths. It's going to help you get closer. That was good. Okay, so those are different ways you can work on it. Now, once you're up in Pincha Mayurasana, we're going to play with that drill that I really like of pulling the thighs into the chest, but I actually am not positive anyone's Pincha Mayurasana is solid enough for it, so let's do it from a headstand. You could do any kind of headstand you want. I'm going to do the regular Shirshasana from the end of practice, but if you want to do a tripod, this is great in tripod too. So let me just show you, because obviously you can't look at me when you're upside down, and but you come into your whatever headstand you're doing, get up, and then exhale. So you really reach up with one leg, draw the other thigh into the chest, but look what happens to my pelvis when I do that. So if you have any tendency of being kind of here, if you do this drill, it takes you out of it. And the other thing that it does is it can really help develop the strength for Karandavasana. So when you start to roll the lotus legs down in Karandavasana, you've got to be able to get that tilt to the pelvis, and that can be really difficult for people. So that drill helps with it. So if you want to try it in Pincha Mayurasana, you are welcome to. Otherwise, go ahead and try it from Shirshasana right now, and I'll watch you all. Go a little bit more, Paul. I know it's hard. Nice, Karen. All the way so the thigh touches the ribs. Nice, Jocelyn. Nice. A little bit more, Jocelyn. Yeah. Yes, Jocelyn. Good. Good one. Barbara, good one. Good. Yes, Barb. Okay, now try to move a little bit more rhythmically if you can, like boom, boom, with your breath. I'm going to make you guys all fall over. But then you start to get that. Yes. Awesome. These look great. Perfect. All right, come on down. Okay. So that's really good work for building that strength for both. I mean, it works in any inversion. Like that's a great drill for headstand if you tend to go into the banana back. I really, really love it for Karandavasana though. I do it all the time as a precursor to Karandavasana, back when I was doing Karandavasana. But okay. Okay, so any questions about Pincha Mayurasana, or is that helpful? Okay, and then Karen, I remembered what I was trying to remember on Friday that I couldn't think of for you, so I'll just go ahead and show you what that is right now. So this was something that really, really helped Jolie with her Pincha Mayurasana, and so she taught it to me. She just kind of figured it out on her own in her practice. But she said that going from down dog into the shape of Pincha Mayurasana versus, something like this, for her, coming in like this, so we should all do this part in a second, made her feel really nice and tight, like she was in a container. And then she started nailing Pincha Mayurasana. And so it does feel a little bit different. So let's all just try that part once or twice. So from downward facing dog, draw your elbows both together and down in a setup for Pincha Mayurasana. And you should be able to feel how broad that makes the upper back feel and how strong that makes the upper back feel. You can try it a couple times. Try to lift back up and then do it again. And if it feels good, if you want to try going into Pincha Mayurasana from there, you feel free to just go for it. Nice, Jocelyn. Great tries. Yeah, nice, Karen. Good, Barbara. That looks good too, Paul. Okay. Okay, those are good, everyone. Feeling tired? You good? So this will be the last thing we do before back bends. Let's just play as though you were going to do the transition from downward face, from Pincha Mayurasana to Chaturanga. So we'll just do it from a forearm plank. And Paul, can you demonstrate? Because I can't. Yeah, just from a forearm plank to Chaturanga. Oh, darn it. Do I have to do it? I am trying to avoid any kind of impact. But okay, yeah, like that. So you're in. So just go to, wait, Paul, slow down for a second. So just go to a forearm plank. And then you kind of like lift from the hips and try to just pull the hands back to Chaturanga really quickly. So you got to move super fast. If you hang out, it just doesn't, just try to move dynamically, just kind of pull the chest forward. Yeah, perfect, Jocelyn. Nice, Karen, almost. Jocelyn, yours was super good. So just try it once or twice, and then we're going, yes, Jocelyn, awesome. So that will, nice, Karen, that was good too. Let me see, Barbara. I missed yours. Yep. Okay, pretty good. Pretty good. You're going too high like you were doing with Nakrasana before, but it's like that's the movement. Just like you want to be quick with it, because then it's a really dynamic movement. But okay, nice work. Let's go to